Hello everybody, happy National Scrapbooking Day from a cherry on top. Welcome to my sketch challenge. Today I'm going to share a process video with you, and I just recently did this layout, and I like how the polish and plaster looks through the stencil, and I'm going to share with you how I did that today on a different layout using polish and plaster from Perfect Paints. And what I'm going to do is show you how you can mix your polish and plaster together to get a different color. To begin, I'm going to start with the lighter pink pattern paper from 49 Market's Kaleidoscope collection. And I'm cutting it down to 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to use this as my base. Next, I'm going to tape down the stencil. And this is a stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. It's their TCW 990 Flourish Towel stencil. I really like this stencil. It's not available in the shop, but there is another stencil similar, and I will attach that in the gallery so you can see that. So I'm taping down. I'm using a low tack tape to tape down everything. You don't want that stencil to move when you're applying mixed media through the stencil, because you want your design to be as crisp as possible. And then I'm using a cayenne polish and plaster, and I'm just using a little teeny bit of that red because I want to make a pink mixed media for the background. So then I'm going to apply a lot of the dove's wing. It's like a white, but not. It's like a shimmery white. And I'm using a lot of it because with the little red and a lot of the white, it will make it to a pink color. And if you want a darker pink, just add a little bit more of the red to that and just do it gradually, because you can always go darker, but you can't go back. So once you put too much in there, it won't work. So there it is. I wanted a light pink tint for the background, and I'm using a palette knife to grab the paste and smooth it through the stencil. And you want to do that from top to bottom. Try not to move sideways. Just try and go in the same direction evenly, okay? Nice and smooth from top to bottom. And then I'm gently scraping off the excess so that there are no blotchy areas. Okay, just slide that palette knife with the ends and pull right down and grab any excess polish and plaster before you apply the next layer. And now I'm going to use a little bit of the organic sugar. It's got like a little orange tint, and I'm using it sparingly. Just dab it throughout the stencil, just to add a little bit of tint. That way it's not just a plain pink floral background. You'll have a little bit of orange tint, and that's what's going to make all the difference, is the two color on that background. And you're going to see that in a minute. Normally I would let the stencil, the paste dry before I remove the tape, but because we're doing a video and I'm in a rush to get this done, I'm going to just do it now. So you hold down that stencil and you just peel it from the top left down. And look at that, it's so beautiful. So I let it dry overnight, okay? It has such a nice texture. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy with that. That's exactly the look that I was hoping to achieve, and it turned out perfect. I'm going to cut the picture down. It was going to be 4 by 4. That was a little big. So then I just recut it down to 3.5 by 3.5. And I'm using washi tape from 49 Market's Elena tape collection. I love their fabric tape. It's so pretty, and it has such a nice texture to it. It just looks beautiful on my layout, and I like to use them for like a fun border across the middle of the layout. And because it's a repositionable fabric tape, I am going to add some tape on the back just so it doesn't move. And now what I usually do is I pull all the embellishments out you'll see I have a nice bag that holds them all together. And I just pick what I want to use. I may not need them all, but it just saves time to go through and pull all the dies that you think you're going to use to cut time down. And then just be careful when you're taking them off so you don't tear them. Especially the leaves and the flowers, they have such a real small cut to them. I mean, look how fine they are, those dies. They're very intricate. So you do not want to tear those. And normally I just press down on the leaf and then I pull the rest of the paper off so that I keep everything in one place. And these flowers are beautiful. I've used this collection already. This is my third layout using this collection, and you'll see the other paper layout I did on June 1st on our hop. So we look forward to you coming and seeing what we have for you. Okay, so now I'm just placing all of the die cut frames where I think I may want them. And I just move them around until I'm happy with them. And I love the chipboard frame. That's such a fun frame, kind of vintagey. And now I'm just going to add some adhesive tape to the back of my frame. And I don't press down until I'm happy with the placement, because once you push that down, it's not coming up. And you will literally rip your paper. So I'm just being very careful. Make sure everything's where it needs to be before I mount them down. And there you go. And I'm going to add the other frames on there. Normally, I would use foam squares to pop one of those frames up for dimension, but I didn't do it with this one. I just kept everything pretty much flat, and then I have the chipboard to add dimension, and I'll be using some foam squares to pop some embellishments up, so it was fine. And I'm just cutting off the excess picture, and then I'm going to add the adhesive over the photo and making sure it touches the frame so that nothing moves. Alright, I'm going to put that down. Perfect. And I was going to use the pink ticket, but it didn't work. And now I'm going to go ahead and lay down my greenery and my flowers. They're so pretty. And I'm going to use glue for those and just tuck the leaves slightly behind the frame. And then glue that to the frame as well. And then I have some butterflies. I'm going to use the foam strips from Taylor Expression. They are perfect for the little die cuts. You don't have to cut them down or anything. They're the perfect dimension. And then I just move embellishments around until I'm happy with the placement. Sometimes you just have to move things around until you're happy with it. And that's what I do. I just move them all around. And then I'm going to add a bubble to the center of the bow. And I was going to use a blue bubble, but then I thought I like these sentiment bubbles. They're fun. So I'm going to glue down a butterfly to create a nice little cluster there. And then this is a chipboard banner. I like that. It's very cute. And then I'm going to add a few other embellishments here and there. Again, just moving them around to see what looks better. I do like the button die cuts. And I'm going to tuck that behind there, behind the frame. And I'm going to glue that one, slightly tucking that in there. And then I'm going to use another foam strip. Cut that down. To add that in there, and that way it has a little bit of dimension there. Super cute. And I have another another button because you can't just have one or two, you gotta have three, right? And then I was gonna use the tab, but I just decided it didn't look right. And then I was gonna use the chipboard heart, but it didn't look right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use foam squares to mount the you and me circle sentiment over the flowers. And then I realized after I did that cluster in there, it needed some more color, so I added some pink flowers. Perfect. But then the bottom right looks a little plain. And I really wanted to use the camera, but it needed something else. So I'm looking for another flower to put in there. And I think I'm going to add the blue flower and see what that looks like. It's perfect. So I'm going to glue that down. And then add the camera. And that's a foam square just to pop it up a little bit. And next I'm going to glue the heart button to the center of the camera lens, just for fun. I love playing with embellishments, so I can't get enough of them. And I'm going to glue one more at the bottom because you can't have too many embellishments. I love this little stitch sentiment. It really does look like it's a real thread, but it's a laser dye. It looks beautiful. And then you all know I like to have a border around my layouts. I don't like the layout looking flat. So I'm going to cut down the blue paper to measure 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to cut down the other paper by a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do 8 inches, actually not even a 1/2 inch. Yeah, 8 by 10.5. That way I have a nice 1/4 inch border. And that is perfect. If I didn't have the mixed media on there, I would have used a ruler and a pen and created like a fun scribbly border. But this works out. Can never have too much blue. I love blue. It's my favorite color. And there it is. Thank you for joining my challenge today. And I hope to see your beautiful projects in the forum. Have a great day.